Hello, ladies. Can you guys hear me now?
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Not too bad. Pretty good. Hey, Flossie, how are you?
Hey, guys. It's just me tonight. Moni's taking the net off.
Good for her.
Good. It's so good. Well,
it's like, I think I know the AMSE stuff. It's cool. I can cover it.
Yeah. Hey, you're all good. You know, I think you guys have the same experience and the same knowledge, and hey, I think it's gonna be great. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and to everybody who's watching us, welcome to our 9th roundtable. We're pretty excited that we can keep going and going and going. It's just getting better and better. I am Berenice Castillo, founder and CEO of MSAN, and Casey, our VP of Operations and Programs, is with us. And tonight we're pretty excited because, I mean, you guys have seen that we're promoting it all over the place, but we're pretty excited because we have Flossie from I'm going to say the whole thing, the Association of Military Spouse Entrepreneurs, and we have Lucy with ACP. American, I know. It's like, okay, all these acronyms and all these names, but you know, we're pretty excited, guys, that you are with us. But before we get into the actual goodness of this chat, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes so that you can introduce yourself and talk a little bit about what you guys do, who you are, and then we'll get more into detail throughout the conversation. So, Lucy, go for it.
All right, great. So thank you for having me again. I'm so excited to be here this time for the roundtable. Berenice, you know that I tune in for your roundtables and try to participate. I think that they're absolutely wonderful. So thank you for having me again. And Flossie, it's wonderful to see you as well. And, you know, we're so proud to partner with both of these amazing organizations. And it's so nice to come together on this platform. So if you don't know anything about ACP, I'm Lucy. I am the Military Spouse Program Coordinator for our mentoring program. So what we do is we offer free mentorships to our transitioning service members, post 9/11 veterans, and our active duty military spouses for a year-long free one-on-one mentorship. So it can really cover anything from what do you want to do when you grow up to I'm in a career and I really want to advance in the company that I'm in. And how do I do that to I'm PCSing and I need to take my position remotely or start looking for remote work. And how do I do that? How do I leverage my experience, my background, my volunteerism, my education, whatever it may be. So we pair you up with a field expert in what you want to do and bring in that mentoring to help you achieve your professional goals, whatever that may be. So that's about us. I'm just excited. And yeah, thank you again.
Wonderful. And throughout the conversations, we're going to talk about how we are working with ACP to support our military spouses. But Flossie, go for it. You're next.
So I'm Flossie Hall. I am co-founder and COO of AMSE. So we don't have to say the whole Association of Military Spouse Entrepreneurs every time because it's a lot and it's the military, so we love our acronyms. So AMSE is an online program. We have an amazing program to help military spouses learn how to start, launch, and grow their own businesses. And it was started by another military spouse, Moni Jefferson, who we all love, and I, because we're both seasoned entrepreneurs, and we wanted to create a safe space for military spouses to start their own businesses. And with the unemployment rate so high, and we found that we had this great group, and we just wanted a great place where it was just for military spouses only. And military spouses face incredible struggles, and we're starting specific types of businesses that not veterans were started, and not, you know, civilians typically were starting. And we're like, we need a custom set of resources and a custom environment and a custom community. And we really wanted to create this great space of community and education and resources and partners. And AMSE was born, and we just launched last year, and we're proud to say we just got over 700 members, which is amazing.
Wow.
And you can sign up online with amse.co/membership. And we do online master classes, and we have amazing partners like both of y'all. But we have subject matter experts that come in and teach you all kinds of great things. Anything from ideation, just where to start, to scaling and growing.
Wonderful. And I think that's why this conversation is going to be amazing, because the way that we see the partnerships that we have with you guys, but the way that you two support our community, it complements each other. And once again, everybody hears me talking about the full circle of support, from being a new spouse to having an idea. How do I develop? What do I do? Continue to coaching and eventually see them succeed after they ended up having a business. I mean, and it's very popular for military spouses to have their businesses. Why? Because we have a hard time finding employment, because every time that we have to move, we have to leave our jobs and start all over again. It's not that easy to bring it with us. And a lot of the times we have amazing, talented spouses that they have the mind and soul and everything into starting a business, and they do amazing things. But we also have those spouses that are wondering, I want to do that. I want to be a Flossie and a Moni, because they are amazing at businesses and they do this and they do that. And I mean, it seems easy because we're outside, because we just look at social media and it looks easy and everybody's like, oh, probably something I want to do. Let's go ahead and do it. But it's not that easy. I don't think it is. And the reasons why we want to bring you two guys is so that we can share from the basics all the way to this is what we can do when you are already on the top, if that's what you want to call it. So we can start with Entrepreneurship 101. I mean, there's a lot of spouses that are considering, is it for me? I have a great idea. I think I can provide a service. I can provide a product, something like that. What will you tell this spouse are the first things you got to do? So, Flossie.
So it's funny because me and Moni were actually just talking about this today as we're, working and building on our curriculum. And anybody with an idea can become an entrepreneur, but you kind of have to have some things internally first. You have to have grit, and you have to have self-motivation, and you have to have determination and resilience and hard work. So you have to have some things personally to be an entrepreneur, because it's not for the faint of heart, which is why we know military spouses are rock stars at entrepreneurship, because these are things that we all already have thanks to this amazing lifestyle that we have. But after that, just to get started, you want to basically see if your idea is even a viable idea. Can you bring in money? Sometimes you can have the best idea in the world, but can you make revenue with your idea? So we have some resources through AMSE where you start working out, is there a problem? Is there a solution? And then if there is a problem and a solution, can I get people to pay for the solution that I'm providing, whether it's a product or a service? Because sometimes you can think that it's the best solution in the world, but are people actually going to pay for it? And how do you deliver that solution? So sometimes just working through those steps is really great. And in our spouse community, and a lot of our spouses are females, a lot of our females and women in general don't charge for their services at first. They want to lead with their heart first, and they want to give everything away for free. And they're like, oh, I'll just bake you free cupcakes, or I'll just do your social media for free. And we're like, no, this is a job. Like, how are you going to make money doing this? So just to get started, start working through your idea. And first step is, can you actually make money doing this? And are you financially prepared to put time and energy and effort into coming out of your pocket personally to build a business if you don't make money immediately? And a lot of spouses don't realize that to begin with. And you have to be prepared mentally and financially first.
Yeah, that's great. And like I said, one of the things that we kind of hear, and I will be one of them. I mean, I founded MSAN, and I started from the beginning with this nonprofit thing. And when someone approaches me about, oh, you know what, I want to start a nonprofit, I said, okay, let's sit down and make sure this is what you want to do, because it is not an easy thing. And yeah, it requires a lot of stuff. And as if you have steps 1 through 5, make sure you accomplish that before you go to 6. Don't try to jump from 1 to 6, because then it becomes overwhelming and it takes a lot of your time. So when it comes to the same stuff, Lucy, about telling spouses, what are the recommendations that ACP that you guys will tell a spouse? What are the top things you got to do?
So the beauty of the program is it's all about what they want to do. So when we partner with AMSE, when we partner with MSAN, when we, bring on a new spouse who's not affiliated with any organization, what we do is we have a call with them to understand what are they doing. So if they're an entrepreneur and they're interested in small business, what part of that do they need the most help with? And where can we help fill in that gap? So if it's marketing, we're going to probably pair them with somebody who has a marketing background. If it's more the finances that they're working on at that point, somebody who has that background. So, we kind of fit seamlessly in that plan because it's completely customizable. It's all about what they're doing, and they get to set the agendas with the mentor that they're working with. So the mentors are bringing their expertise to make sure that they're helping them with their goals, but it's really driven by the military spouse, because even an entrepreneur could be, you could be in those first early stages like you both were just talking about, or you could already have a business and you're just looking to grow it to a new level. So I think that I think that piece of having somebody who's walked in your shoes, maybe not in exactly what you've done, but somebody who has some experience in where you need the help is kind of that missing piece a lot of the time.
Yes, I agree 100%. And with everything that has been going on lately, I mean, the COVID-19 has brought all this uncertainty, and now everybody's living life in a different way, and a lot of different. Now we're doing things in a different way, and although we managed to get out there, we managed to make it happen, and we continue to plan, and we always find a way to get out in a positive way. Have you guys seen a big impact when it comes to entrepreneurs because of COVID-19? I mean, I think that there's a lot of businesses have been affected by it. And I think the military spouses and businesses can be considered a small business. And although there was a stimulus package out there and it was a little bit of a hot mess, I mean, have you guys seen help military spouses at the moment that come to you and say, okay, I don't even know what to do anymore?
For us, we had an overwhelming response when COVID happened. First, in panic of we don't know what's going to happen. So sometimes it was just calming everyone down of let's actually see what's going to happen first, because in business it can be really scary before it's actually scary. So let's make a plan and just continue and make sure you're prepared. So in business, you can't ever plan anything, just like military spouse life, right? Like you're never going to know what's going to happen, right? So let's just make sure you have your legal squared away, your insurance squared away. Do you have savings? Can you handle a hit if your sales dip? If not, what can you do? So we started to give out resources, like if you start to lose clients or you lose customers or you take a dip in revenue, do you have to replace it? What's your bare minimum? So we had so many people reaching out to us in different levels, but a lot of our spouses we found are service-based businesses, and they were working for other big businesses, and they lost their contracts because these big businesses were cutting back expenses. So then everybody had to get really creative on what they were doing, and luckily we were using this time to then work on their business, pivoting to live video, pivoting to building courses online, pivoting to building all kinds of different things that they might not have done if COVID hadn't happened. So we saw so many amazing things happen because of COVID, where some spouses said, like, I never would have built this online video series if I hadn't been forced to, or I would have never created this guide that I now have passive income for because I didn't have the time to do it. And now I've built it, and now I'm going to build more of these because they're selling like hotcakes. Or they added different services because they had to. So sometimes when you're squeezed in business, just like in life, like you're forced into doing something more innovative that you might not otherwise have done. So our spouses are amazing and resilient, and they're doing amazing things. And these times are hard. And luckily we have our service members who have those solid paychecks. They're coming on the 1st and the 15th. And I know that's not always the end all be all, but the majority of us are very blessed to still have roofs over our head and, food in the cupboards. And we heard a lot of just gratitude for those things. So we're just trying to say, like, pivot, curve, swerve, hold tight. Like, let's figure out how to make this the best of times if we can.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I think this is a time, COVID-19 is putting us in a place where we were talking about this in other roundtables, but how we are seeing ourselves in a different way, kind of like reinventing ourselves because of how everything that is going on at home and in business and everything. But I feel that this is also a time to reinvent a product, to reintroduce a product, to relaunch something. You know what? It's not like starting from the beginning, but it's a time to get it out there, put the spotlight on your product, on your business, on the stuff that you're doing. So Lucy, what are you guys hearing?
A lot of the same, and also the other side of it, I'm overwhelmed. I'm the one home putting out fires, and lots of people seem to have lots of extra time to take on lots of different things, and that's kind of not what the typical military spouse usually says. And so I think there's that feeling of, do I have people who feel similarly? Are there other people out there who have less time in the day? And I think that you'll see that. A lot of us are moms and have small children, and we have to manage homeschooling, and also our spouses are essential and they're out there every day, and we don't have those support systems. So, there's also that piece of understanding that work-life balance and shifting what that means from your traditional work life to your work life during COVID. And it's okay, and giving yourself grace and allowing yourself to make those shifts where they need to go. That idea of pivot really follows through on all the different counts. So, I think that's another big thing that we've seen on the mentoring side is that idea of, how do I balance all of my goals? I want to take on new things. I want to engage in education and webinars and do all of these things. And yet there's still only 24 hours in a day, and you still have to eat and take care of kids and do all of those things. So I think that's what we've seen the most on our side.
Yeah. And that is something I was going to also ask right now that you're talking about that. Flossie, like you guys, the business, the everything, and Lucy with the mentorship side. I mean, most of us have kids. Most of us are waking up to homeschool. Kids are eating the entire day. They want breakfast, they want lunch, they want snacks, they want dinner. So it looks like you're always cooking and you're homeschooling and you're trying to take care of business, and then your spouse is at home. I don't know if your spouse is at home, mine is. So it's like everybody needs your attention, and then you have a dog and a cat, and everything is like your world is nonstop. How do you actually sit down? How can you discipline yourself do you need to have a calendar, a schedule? I mean, from here to here, we got to do, it's kind of hard to tell the kids, you're going to sit down and you need to finish your work in an hour because I have a meeting. But we do it. We make it happen. What kind of tips can we actually give spouses when they're actually trying to launch a business, have a business to take care of?
So I have 4 kids and 2 dogs and a cat, and my husband is still going to work every day, and he doesn't understand when he comes home and I'm like super grumpy, and I'm like, just get them out of my face. Like, it's been 2 months and I'm like, I just need some me time. But we are holed up at our kitchen table, and honestly, like, something had to give, and I only do the minimum of assignments for them. Like, what's the absolute minimum that's due? And when I have essential meetings, I lock them out of my house. Like, I have to lock them outside because my job pays the bills, and I have work that is a 40-hour work week, and I've communicated with their teachers, like, I apologize, I will make sure their schoolwork gets done. And sometimes it's on a Saturday when I don't have work, and sometimes they have Tuesdays and Wednesdays off because mom has to work, and that's the way that it has to be. So just like Lucy said, like, give yourself some grace. I can't stick to like a Monday through Friday 9 to 4 routine for them and do my work at the same time. It's just not feasible. And when we have meetings, there's kids and dogs and cats, and it's life. And as military spouses, like, I've worked remote for 2 years now, and I've just said, like, it's like extended summer. So it's terrible because now we're just like, you know, we have these corporate calls and other people aren't used to it, where we're very used to this. And now we're like, hey, welcome to our lives. Like, this is what military spouses go through. So we kind of feel like it gave a dose of reality to these corporate entities and these organizations who don't live like we live. And this is how we juggle life. Like, we juggle kids and dogs during deployments, and we're juggling meetings in our cars on the way to school drop-offs. And this is how we juggle our businesses. And this is how we manage to get things done. And now organizations and big leaders and people are seeing that, and they're now getting a little bit of humility, and now they understand. And we're just saying, thank you, because this is how we have to live, and this is how we live our lives. And I think it's been a great eye-opener and kind of leveled the playing fields for military spouses and moms and remote workers everywhere. So I think it's been a little bit of a blessing.
Yeah, I think this is the time for us as a military community, military spouses in our journey as a military spouse and everything that we go through, is the time to shine in a good way and show others that is possible. Is it challenging? It can be difficult. Yes, it is. Yeah. But it can happen. And that's when you rely on your network, on your support system. You support each other. You knock on your neighbor's door. I mean, in the military community, we're all family because we always hang out with our neighbors because we're close. And in the civilian community, people live for years and years in their community and they don't know their neighbors. Well, you know what? This is a time for you to go knock on the neighbor's door and get to meet them. I think this is the time for us to say, this is what a community is all about. And I agree with you, Flossie, when it comes to the schedules. It is really hard to have one. When you have, even if you have one kid, 4 kids, a dog, and the animal, I mean, I think that it is a completely different. We kind of know how to manage it because we go through deployments and PCSs and everything. But I can tell you in my personal experience, it's easier for me to manage the kids at the house and the pets. But having my husband walking back and forward behind me when I'm in a meeting, or he's yelling at me from the kitchen, I'm like, I'm in a meeting. Oops, sorry, I forgot. And then he's getting up and being loud, and he's like, really? So sometimes it's easier for me because through deployments, he's gone and you can manage the entire house. When my husband, it's another story. But Lucy, in your situation, in your personal experience, how are you managing that? And have you heard anything from the mentors? You guys have a lot of civilians.
Yep.
Have you heard anything from them on this specific area?
Yeah. So the first part of that is I'm in a similar boat to Flossie. I have 3 kids. They are age 10 and under. And the most challenging at this point is my kindergartner because, you know, kindergarten is about socialization and it's not about studying. My 4th and 5th graders, you know, here's your work, do your work, try to get it in on time, ask mom if you've got questions, and we'll go over it later in the day when I'm done with my work. You know, the kindergartner, it's different. It's a whole nother ball game, and it's like being there and sitting there. Even today, earlier today, I had one of my teammates call me on Slack and through like a video, and there I am at the dining room table working on a math problem with my kindergartner during my lunch break, and picked up and we had a conversation via video chat, and then she went on her way. And that's what my reality is like. But I've built in some things that have helped me. So, you know, I've utilized technology a lot during this. My Google Calendar is my lifesaver. I literally schedule everything from wake up my my fourth grader, because he's got a Google Meet and I know he will sleep until 1 o'clock in the afternoon if I let him, to reminding him to tune in, multiple alarms for what I've got going and calls with our mentors and who, like you shared, our corporate partners, to hi Lucy, it's time to get off of your computer. The day is over and you need to unplug because you need to set boundaries. I have like our Alexa devices say different things during the day to different people in my household. We've kind of set up some processes to make sure that at the end of the day, I'm getting my work done. They're getting their work done. We haven't all killed each other. And my husband is also out working still in the field. So he's not here to navigate. And he does the same thing. He comes home. He's like, why are you so stressed? So that's kind of my tips but that's what works for me. I'm an A-type personality. So I need to see black and white. We've got a big whiteboard calendar outside that lines up what my kids have to do. And I've got my own on my computer and on my phone. I've heard other people say things like they've got, they have lighted like smart lights in their house, and the light changes color when they're on an important call to like cue their kids that they shouldn't come in the room. There are a lot of really cool things that people are doing. I locked my door, but I did MSEP live, and for a good 10 minutes in the middle of my call was mama. I need the door closed. That's real life though. That's my reality. I have to just roll with it and pretend that don't hear it as I'm still talking. Our mentors, yeah, definitely what Flossie said. Only about a third of the mentors here are at ACP are former service or military spouses themselves. Most of them are civilians who want to give back to the military community. They want to share their knowledge of what they've built out in the civilian community and give it back to military members and families. So this has definitely been a learning curve for them for sure. Most of them are not quite used to working remotely and haven't dealt with these things. So they've all been really wonderful at understanding what I'm going through and what other military spouses are going through, and really being very flexible and trying their best to help. I think that it's been really nice. And we've had great mentors come on to say, I want to share more information. What can we do? So we've hosted webinars where they come on and talk about different things. And so they've just been wonderful and just want to continue building back into the community to the best of their ability. But it is really interesting to see them live a day in the life, so to speak, and really see what it's like and how, they might have been mentoring a military spouse for the past 10 months. And suddenly now they're kind of understanding what the obstacles the military spouses really been facing during this time.
Yeah, definitely. It is true. And when you said about the light, that's awesome. The first thing that popped to my head is like when you go to the doctor's office and they have all these labels above the door, and if it's right, do not open or something like that. I mean, I don't know if the kids will pay attention to that, but maybe with my husband, it will be a little bit more clear than the kids, but maybe they're not going to pay attention to that. But, I think that COVID-19 has brought struggles, but also it has brought a big, big learning experience to continue to grow and now even to add into our life a military spouse journey, COVID-19 pandemic. I mean, we cannot write strategy books and kids and everything about from becoming a new military spouse through pandemics all the way to retirement. I mean, I think we've done pretty much everything. So considering COVID-19 has changed a lot and has helped us grow, there's another big challenge. And to me, this one is even bigger than COVID-19, and that is PCSing. PCSing with a business. Every single time that you move your business. A lot of the times you lose your clients. You have to start over again. Like you have to start kind of like from the beginning every single time you move. And come on, we move every year, every 2, every 3, sometimes every 5. But so many of us move so often. And when you have a business, it must be really hard. So I'm pretty sure that you guys hear a lot about that because PCS is always a challenge. But what is it that you guys think is something that entrepreneurs must have or must do before PCSing and after arriving to their new installation?
So it's one of the things that we talk about a lot at AMSE, and we have a whole thing on how to PCS proof your business. Now, if you're just starting out, it's the very first thing you should think of is my business. Can I take it with me? Like, is it a virtual business? Is it a service-based business? Is it a product-based business? I don't have a brick and mortar. Like if I decide to open up a yoga studio down the street, but I know I'm moving in 2 years, can you sell that yoga studio, or do you have somebody that can take it over for you? So if you get lucky enough and you're starting it today and you're dreaming about the future, you have to think about that from day one, which is why a lot of military spouses are in the service-based industry, because they can take it with them all over the world, and they can work from Guam and Japan and Alaska and Kansas and San Antonio, and they can work from their laptop. But if you can build your business the right way, you can really plug in using community. And community is what we preach through AMSE and through great organizations like ACP and MSAN, and really building an online presence for who you are, using great platforms like LinkedIn, and making sure you have an amazing website, making sure you have great social media, making sure that no matter what, if I have this great business and I've built this amazing online presence and I pick up, I know that I've already plugged in ahead of time, and I've said, even if I'm a hairstylist, I know I'm going to go to San Antonio. I can start plugging into that community ahead of time. I can start promoting my business. They're going to go back to my social media pages and go, oh, she does beautiful work. I can start booking clients before I even get there. But you have to have that online presence, that online community, and you really have to plan and think ahead. But if you don't have an online presence or an online community, it's going to be really hard. You're going to show up and go, hi, I'm Flossie, and you're going to have to start from day one. But spouses are online. We all have those Facebook groups. Every base, every command has a Facebook group. The Mil Spouse Creative online, thousands of entrepreneurs on there. You can plug in and find your local community page. There's so many great places. You know, MSAN has an amazing group. ACP has a women's group. Ask those questions, find the group that's for you, and find out where you can plug in. So community is everything. And LinkedIn's my jam. I love LinkedIn. It's an amazing way to stay present and active. And if you're a consultant or in the service-based field, you can get clients and move anywhere you want to and keep those clients and just work from Wi-Fi is what we're trying to get spouses to realize. You can literally build a business with a laptop and Wi-Fi from anywhere in the world. And that's what we're really promoting here at AMSE.
Yeah, that's great. You know, and I think one of the, it's very important that you address the importance of being present and be active. And utilize your networks. That's the reason why you network, so you can utilize them, so that you can open doors, and even before and after. But one of the things that, in order for us to get there, do not be afraid to ask for help. Do not feel embarrassed to say, I'm about to move to your area. I need some help. Where should I start? Do you know people? Connect me with people. Don't feel embarrassed to utilize your networks to say, hey, I'm about to move, I need some help. And I mean, help comes from all types of different things. And even when it comes to your business, if you need help, ask for help. And that's the reason why we bring these roundtables to you, these conversations, so that you know that we're here to support you, that it's okay to say, I need help, what do I do next? And Lucy, continuing to what Flossie was saying about those tips, the before and after the PCS and the craziness that come with it.
Yeah, network, definitely 100%. I've been trying to really push getting on LinkedIn. I know that it can be scary. I know that it's a whole nother realm. I think that we're kind of very comfortable on Facebook mostly. And so that's kind of where we live a lot of the time, and where we get our information, and how, I mean, I know that every PCS I did, I always plugged into the Facebook group of the base that I was going to, and tried to find out where are the best schools, and who do you know here, and all of those things. But when we want to talk about the professional development piece and building a business, if that's what you're doing, plugging into LinkedIn is going to be such a great thing for you to do. You're gonna really build out a network. You can do that ahead of time before your PCS as soon as you know where you're going. So you start building a group of professionals that live where you're going to live. And then from there, you can really lean on them. The community on LinkedIn is really beautiful and really unique. I reach out to people on LinkedIn. I've never met them in person. We have really no connection at all. And the response that I get from people when I ask them for an informational interview, or could you speak to somebody in my network who I think that would really gain a lot of value out of a conversation with you, I almost always get a yes. They're willing to schedule a Zoom call and jump on the phone and talk through all of these things and give them these great tips and tools. That's why they're there on LinkedIn. They're sharing articles and resources all of the time. There are so many LinkedIn Lives that are so wonderful. So it may be scary, but also really a great platform to use. So I would definitely encourage any military spouses, no matter where you are in your journey, building a business, or if you're going into corporate America, whatever that looks like, get on LinkedIn. Start understanding how the platform works, how the algorithms work, how to get some exposure on there. Start commenting on things. You don't even have to be posting your own content necessarily, but start really adding some insightful comments to other people's posts, and that's going to get you some traction too.
Yeah, that is true. I think LinkedIn is the real picture of networking. I mean, when you join LinkedIn, you're like, oh, now what? I mean, it can be a scary world because it's all these people like with jobs and businesses and you go in with a group of people they know so well, they know each other so well, and they're always making comments with each other and they support, and then you go in like the little stranger, they're like, okay, where do I start? What do I do? So I think that once you start getting in, kind of like what you were saying, Lucy, be active and comment and be present, you start feeling more comfortable. So when you get to your new place and you got a network in real person, it's the same thing. You're going to go into a place with a lot of people where they know each other. They don't know you. You got to be like, oh, what do I do now? Utilize what you're learning in LinkedIn. Although it's virtual, it's pretty much the same thing because you're joining a group of people that they don't know who you are. They know who they are. They help each other. Now you got to find a way to get in so they can help. But of course, you also got to ask and say, I'm looking for this. This is what I need. Can someone support me? And then, of course, you give back as well to the community, not just get, but you also give back. So I think that is a very interesting thing that is all about networking, regardless if you're looking for a job or if you're trying to grow your business or you're about to move your business. It's all about utilizing the resources in our community, and LinkedIn is within our community and outside our community. So I really love that. And I think we've been talking great things about the COVID-19, and then you move with the PCS and you move your business and you grow it. We talk about the beginning, but it's always good at the way that I see it, and please correct me if I'm wrong. When you have a business, you have to continue to stay, I don't know if the word educated is the right word, but you got to stay on top of what is new, what is out there. You got to be up to date with everything. You need to read, you need to go to webinars, you need to go to trainings. You got to stay up to date. And after you guys answer this question, I'll make it with the reason why I'm asking this. But is it true that you got to stay like that, like on track, and make sure that you stay on top of things?
Absolutely. You have to learn every day. Business changes fast. It grows fast. You got to watch what your competitors are doing. Not so close that you become obsessed with it, but you have to know what the market's doing. You have to know what your customers are doing. You have to constantly, there's new platforms out there every day. There's new social media changes every day. There's so much going on. But you can take it in bite-sized chunks, listening to podcasts or subscribing to a newsletter or two and just perusing it every day, scrolling through your social media, staying up to date, connecting with the right people on LinkedIn and seeing what their content has to do, because they're leading experts in the business field or in certain fields that you might be working in. You just want to see what's going on. You don't have to sit down and read a book a day. Like, you just have to stay educated and stay abreast to what's going on, because you want to be the newest and the best and the leader. And if there's a new change and you can say, oh, what if I implemented that in my business? Then that makes you the best, right? So I'm constantly learning, and I'm always the first person with my hand up saying, I don't know what I'm doing, and I always want to learn. So please teach me your ways. So I'm always looking for people that are smarter than me to teach me how they did it. And I've done that from my first day in business. So I'm always looking for people that are up here. And when I get there, I'm looking up here, because that's how you get more successful, is that you look for people that are 10 steps ahead of you. And then you say, can you teach me anything and everything you can? And you lead with an open mind and you just learn. And then you put your nose to the grindstone and you do the work in your own business, which is the one thing that we find day in and day out is really hard in entrepreneurship. We see a lot of dreamers, but you gotta follow up with a lot of doing to make it happen. So never stop learning. And the most successful people in business learn every single day. So whether it's podcast, audiobooks, physical books, magazines, whatever it is, and however you get it, make sure you get a little bit in every day.
Yeah. And I think that in order to grow, there's got to be change. If you don't change things, if you don't learn things, you're going to be stuck like a little hamster going around and around, and you're not moving forward. You're just staying in the same place. So I also believe that change is an opportunity to grow. What about you, Lucy?
Absolutely. I mean, look at the way that our lives are functioning now. I mean, that's a clear example. If you don't keep your finger on the pulse, you're never going to be able to keep up with everything. So always growing and always learning is going to be the best way for you to grow as a professional, as a business owner. I think that it's incredibly important. I'm actually a social worker by trade. And so that's something that's really important for me, even though I don't do clinical work right now, is to keep up with developments and what's going on, because it grows my own knowledge and base for that. And that helps me in other areas. So it may be in parenting, it may be in relationships, it may be with the military spouses I'm working and facilitating their mentorships, but in some way it's helping me grow as an individual, which I think is really important. So I'm always about that growth mindset and understanding what's changing and how that can impact you even in little ways is so important, but especially if you're a business owner, because you definitely want to know what the current trends are and make sure that you're at least keeping up, or you're actively making a decision to not go with that trend because you don't endorse it and you don't believe in it. And that's okay too, but understand why you're doing it, not just because it's complicated or you don't feel like you have the time to understand it or learn about it. You want to make, decisions based on real knowledge and real understanding of those things and how they work, and then see if it applies to your business or it applies to your professional development. So I know that we're all busy and that's hard to keep up with sometimes. And but plugging in, like Flossie said, there's so many ways to get information and relevant, up-to-date information. Find what works for you. You know, if it's audio, do that while you're doing something else, while you're folding laundry and time that you would be time suck and you would lose anyway. Figure out what works for you and just make sure that you're plugged in somehow.
Yeah, I agree. Get your little earbuds and hide them with your hair, and your family's talking to you and you're just listening to the podcast. I mean, it's not going to hurt anybody. But before I ask the next question that is related to this, if you guys, the ones watching us, have any questions or any comments, please go ahead and let us know. Casey's keeping track of that. We're going to ask the questions. We're also going to pick 2 winners for the $25 gift cards for Amazon. Like I said, you get to learn, and then you get to win a gift card, and you get to shop. What else can it be? So that question that I asked, ladies, was because the programs that you two have actually relates to what we just talked about. So now that we already took classes, you gotta stay up to date. You gotta educate yourself. Now here comes a resource. Now here's a time for us to share with you what is out there. So now it's up to you to take advantage of those resources, and everything is free. So I'm gonna start with you, Flossie. I know that AMSE has so much to offer with a free membership, and if you don't go with a free membership, there's so much to learn from there at any stage. from beginning and the middle to I'm already up here, but you know what? I'm trying to find different ways for something. So please share with us what is it that AMSE is offering for all the spouses that are in the entrepreneurship world.
So basically, all of our spouses, if you join our free membership, you can log in, you get a free online dashboard. And when you log into that dashboard, you can log in and you can see everything broken down by sections. So getting started, financial, legal, marketing. So it breaks it down. And in the next 2 weeks, there's going to be a whole new set of video modules that it's going to be amazing because we just redid our curriculum this week and next week. So be prepared for that to roll out. We've been working really hard on that. But there's all these great downloads in there. And then there's master classes uploaded in there as well. So in the getting started, you can literally print out working through your problem statement. You can print out a worksheet, working through your solution statement. You can print out a marketing checklist, a legal checklist. What do you need for your legal just to get started for your business? Financials, how do I do my bookkeeping? How do I set my quarterly goals? What are those things? There's even like vocabulary. What's vocabulary in business? What are these terms that I had to Google in my notebook when I first started business? I didn't know what a profit loss statement was. I was like, what's this? I kept a notebook with me and I Googled everything. So everything that you need is in this beautiful online dashboard when you log in for signing up for our membership. We do offer free monthly master classes. We do have a paid membership as well that has some additional bonus perks, but we always have free additional master classes at no charge. We have free resource partners that plug in constantly, like ACP Mentorship, MSAN Mentorship. We partner with companies like Hello Alice, Founders Institute for other programs that waive their scholarship applications specifically for our spouses. So many great things that we're trying to give you to help you start and grow your business. So anything that we can think of that we can get a hold of, we're trying to say, come help our spouses start their businesses. But the first place to start is to sign up for that free membership and just log into that dashboard and keep checking it because we're working really hard to continue to build out those resources in there for you.
I love that. And you said the keyword Google.
Google.
Into learning, starting, continue to develop. Do not Google things. I mean, we already went through that. We already did the Google time. We already wasted our time. Now we have the resource for you. Don't go to Google. Come to the resource and take advantage of that. Because you know what? A lot of the times when they go to Google, what happens is that they become overwhelmed.
You get lost in a sea of Google. I went to the school of Google and YouTube, so you don't have to. So I got my MBA at Google, so you don't have to.
Exactly.
We culminated everything that you need to know into these beautiful bite-sized resources that gives you exactly what you need. And then there's, it's all in there. And like I said, if you give it another week or two, it's going to walk you through in these beautiful bite-sized videos, step by step. What is entrepreneurship? What success look like to me? How do I get started? How do I PCS proof my business? So in the next week or two, you're going to see a whole new makeover of video series added to that vault.
That's beautiful. And hey, I'm not giving bad ads to Google. Google is when it comes to learning, it can be overwhelming. So I always tell people, don't Google things. Come and look for the actual resource that probably we already Googled it for a very long time.
Sometimes people want the answer to your question. I'm like, I just want the answer. Where's the answer?
It's kind of like when you Google, I have a headache, what it means, and then it takes you to that you're going to die in 2 weeks. I mean, it's the same like when you go with Google and you're like, I want to start a business. Oh, yeah, they're going to go into bankruptcy. So, I mean, sometimes it can be kind of negative, everything that is out there. So don't get overwhelmed. Come with the real resource and we'll give you the real answers and the information. Lucy, what do you think?
I mean, definitely go to the source. And that's what we're trying to provide through ACP is that field expert, that person who has the answers, who has the right training, who can talk you, what certification should I be getting? Is this part of my education worth the money that I'm paying into it? Am I going to kick myself for the student loans down the road because I didn't do the proper research or I Googled it and it told me that this was going to be a great degree and now it's not usable? I'm sure we've all been there at some point. and especially with PCSing, it's hard to know what's state specific and what applies more broadly. So you definitely want to get the information from the right sources, from the vetted sources. And so that's what we're trying to do. So if you're interested in getting a mentor, go to acp-usa.org and apply for a one-on-one mentorship. The great thing about the program is that a real person like me or, my 50 colleagues who do this day in and day out will actually reach out to you and get to know you. What are you looking to do? Where do you need the most help? What does your education background look like? What does your professional background look like? What does your volunteerism look like? Volunteer background look like? How can we leverage all of that? How can we help you build a LinkedIn presence if you don't know how to do that? How do we improve your resume? All of those things, but somebody who is talking about your specific field. Again, it's about you. So we definitely want to be there to support you. It is 100% free. We do have other things. We've got monthly webinars in our women's program where we've got mentors coming on board and they talk about, what's in their wheelhouse, where is their expertise and how can they add value. So we just had one, which was all about resume and LinkedIn. So if you're interested in finding out more about LinkedIn and you don't really know anything about that, you can go on our website and under the women's program section, I think that was posted today, if I'm not mistaken. That recording. So we really want to make sure that we're staying up to date with what you need to know and building that out for you. And we have our Facebook page, which Flossie plugged for me nicely before. And we've got an Instagram page just for our military spouses. We're trying to build out more opportunities. We've started doing, we did a happy hour for the first time last month where we just brought our military spouse proteges together to talk about things that they're all experiencing. They've never met each other before. And it was supposed to last 45 minutes to an hour, and 90 minutes later, they were all still chatting because they share that one thing. It's we feel like we kind of fit on the outside of the professional world. We kind of feel like we fit on the outside of our communities in some way. We don't necessarily have people in our networks who are plugged into that professional development. And so it was a nice outlet for them to really share. So we're like Flossie said, we're trying our best to try to meet the needs and trying to be creative, especially during all of this, to come up with new things that are really relevant to our military spouses. So I definitely encourage you, no matter where you are, if you're a brand new military spouse and you're thinking about what's down the road, way down the road, and just starting to explore education and different career options, it's for you. If you're halfway through your career and you've got some kind of sense of where you want to go, or you're in a company and you're thinking, I'm about to PCS. How do I talk to my manager about taking this remotely when I don't work for an organization that has remote work opportunities? Or, I've been stagnant where I am in my company and I would really like to maybe find new ways to grow myself here. I think that this is a great opportunity. And on the tail end of that, if you are a spouse of a soon to be retiring service member, plug in now while you have the opportunity, while you still have all of these amazing resources available to you. Plug in and grab a hold of them because life on the other side is different. And we don't necessarily have all of those same resources available to us. So it's important to start thinking about those things, be proactive, and make those connections, get plugged into everything you can possibly get plugged into now. And then you can kind of just keep it level as you prepare for other big things like retirement and moving back home and arguing over where home is going to be and all of those other things that you're probably going to have to deal with. So it's definitely, the program can grow with you. There's lots of resources. Our alumni remain part of our family here. So we help them down the road, informational calls. And, it's definitely a kind of a timeless program for our military spouses.
Yeah. And I think you mentioned something very important is when you come to the stage of retirement and you have a business. I mean, now you have the opportunity to be in just one place and you don't have to worry about probably moving anymore. I mean, and now is the time for you to, you have this big picture for your business, and now probably this is the opportunity to make it happen. So it is great that just like when your spouse, like within a year, 2 or 3 in advance, they start preparing and checklists and everything. I think it will be ideal for business owners to do the same. Where are we going to go? Where do I want to take the business to? How is it going to look like? What do I need? Who do I need? How much do I need? So I think because when you're retired, is your spouse going to have a job? Or, you have to look into those finances and how will that impact your business? So yeah, that's a great point. For those spouses that are about looking into retirement, getting close to it, start getting ready to make sure that you continue to succeed, take your business to where you want it to look like. Is your dream, is your picture, make it happen. And before we go to the questions, Casey, in the comments and the giveaway, I just want to tell everybody that our partnership with AMSE and with AACP, I always talk about our partnerships are not just that. They are collaborations. They are relationships. And the reason why we do this is because we have a common denominator, which is you, the military spouse. We want to make sure that you have the support that you need, that you have the network. Consider us your network. Utilize us. Come to us for anything that you need, and we'll make sure that if we don't have that information, we'll look for it, and we'll help you to succeed. For the new spouses, they have a mentor, and you're interested in starting a business. If you have a business, if you need education, you need support, we will guide you how to get to AMSE, how to get mentorship and support with ACP. Just let us know. Like I said, it's okay to ask for help. Let us know what you're needing. We'll let you know where to find it. We'll take you there, and they will take you and continue the mentorship. And that is something that we are always addressing. Just that we take care of our mentees and we make sure that we provide everything they need, we want to make sure that whoever we're going to send them to is going to provide the same support. And we know that AMSE and ACP is going to do exactly just that. So please let us know what you need. We are here to support you. Our mentors will guide you. We'll take you there, and we will make the connection, all of that stuff that you need. So please don't feel overwhelmed or you don't know where to start. We're here to help you. So Casey, let us know. Do we have any comments, any questions?
So we do have some questions, and I had a real life moment where, my computer was about to die, and I was like, I need my charger. My husband's like, I'm putting the kids to bed. Yeah, real life. So we have some questions. I'm going to show them up on the screen, and you guys answer them kind of as is. I know we've got one specifically for Flossie, so that one's going to go up right now.
Yeah, so all the members have access to the program. Like I expanded a little bit. So if you just go to amse.co/membership, you will have access to your dashboard, and you can log in, and you should be able to click and expand all of those sections and see exactly which master classes you can view that have been taught by experts, which downloads that you can download, resources and discounts, partners. We have ACP in there and MSAN as partners. And you can see our different communities as well. So you have access to all of that just by signing up. And there's nothing required except just an application profile. And that's it. You get sent a link to log in, and then you just log into your dashboard. And if you have any questions, you can ping us if anybody has a problem logging in. But it's super easy, and then that's it. And you can follow us on social media. We're always posting new resources, new grants, new tools, new everything that we can get our hands on. Follow us on social media and make sure that you're checking out those avenues, because anytime we get a hold of anything that we can find for you guys, we're constantly dumping it out there. Or at a minimum, if you don't want to sign up for our newsletter at least, and stay up to date with the things that we have going on. This is a fast moving train over here, so we got a lot going on, and we're constantly growing and evolving. And over the next couple of months, we have some really big things happening for you guys. We are an organization fully run by military spouse entrepreneurs for military spouse entrepreneurs, and we believe in that. We're building this for you guys, and we want this to be what we wish we had. And when you come in, don't be scared, because there's a lot of other spouses that are just getting started or just thinking about it, and all you have to do is say, I don't know where to start. What'd you use for a website? And you're going to have 100 other spouses answering that question going, Squarespace, Wix, blah, blah, blah. So just take step one, come on in, and we're all going to welcome you on board.
Yes, that is very true. And I mean, just a little FYI, I'm a mentor. I am one of those and they can have a conversation with if you're thinking about a nonprofit or I don't know, strategic planning, business planning, anything. I mean, I can answer the questions as much as I can and support our community. So you can find me there too. Lucy.
I think it's awesome. A lot of the other questions you guys pretty much just covered. So who wants to do some giveaways with some gift cards? I love a giveaway.
Let's do it.
So we have a bunch of comments about how important this is and how wonderful this is. So I've been using this random name generator thingy-majigger. Yeah, I thingy-majigged because it's 7 o'clock at night and I have 4 kids. And my husband is constantly around me and I don't think straight 90% of the time. So I am going to pop up a banner that gives who our winners are. And yes, please message us on the page with the best email address to reach you out so we can get you guys your Amazon gift cards. So congratulations to Joanna and April. It's not showing up. It doesn't like me today. There it is.
Yay. Good job. Yeah, outstanding. Congratulations. Yay. And enjoy your gift card. And before I let you guys go, is there something a final thought that you want to share as a personal experience, even with who you represent, something that you want to tell the spouse that is wondering right now, should I or shouldn't I? Is this the right time? Is there actually a perfect time to do this?
So my famous words are, our time is now. That's my hashtag, our time is now. Don't wait. It's not that scary, I promise. The first step is always the scariest, but what comes after the first step is just the second step, I promise. And we will be there to guide you every step of the way. So don't be afraid. No company was built in a day. Even Amazon was built by day 1 and then day 2, and now look at it. Yeah. And don't be afraid to just take the leap. You can build it on the way down. So our time is now.
I love that. Wonderful. I love it. What about you, Lucy?
I mean, the military spouse community is the most resilient, proactive, just amazing group of people. And so there's never anything to be scared of. What can be scarier than the military life that we live through all of the time? I mean, we live through uncertainty. We live through change in orders and all of these crazy things all of the time. This is the one thing that you can control to some degree. So do it. Take the reins and kind of control some small piece of your life. Because I don't know about you, but I lived my life one Marine Corps order at a time. And so my professional development was my place to go. It wasn't about my kids, who I love. It wasn't about my husband, who I adore. It wasn't about any of that. It was about me and my goals and having an escape and something that I could call just mine. So you should definitely take advantage, get a mentor through ACP, get a mentor, through AMSAN, get plugged into AMSE, do everything you can do to be the most fulfilled, the most happy person that you can be. So there's never a right time. There's never a wrong time. It is what it is. Just take the leap and do it.
Yeah. I really like that. And there's nothing wrong in doing something that is just for us, something that is our dream. And that is something that I share with new spouses. Not because you're getting married and now you're following your spouse because their career doesn't mean that you don't have dreams, doesn't mean that you're not going to continue to reach your goals and accomplish everything that you want to do. Because being a military spouse doesn't stop you from doing that, won't prevent you from doing that. Will it be challenging? Yes, but you can still make it happen. So I agree with that, Lucy. Do not feel bad for doing something that is for you, something that is going to give you that feeling of accomplished. you're doing something that you always wanted to do, and we are here to support you. And to everybody that is watching us, I mean, these are wise women, and the resources that they have are there to help you. Do not stop wanting to do something such as starting a business, continuing your business, restarting your business, because probably it's been 3 years since you stopped doing it. Now you're thinking of redoing it. Don't stop because of fears. Don't stop because you don't know where to start. Here we are for you. Take advantage of the free resources. You got this. And like Flossie and Lucy have been saying it, this is your time. You do it now. You have the resources. No stopping. I mean, to me, this is very important because it's about empowerment. When we got to empower others to be able to continue to do what they want to do. So thank you so much, Flossie. Thank you so much, Lucy and Moni from home. We'll send you big kisses. I hope you're resting. I know you're very active on social media. But if you guys need anything, send us comments, questions. We'll link you to the resources. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Thank you, ladies. We'll be in touch. And everybody at home, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.